Hi folks, Jay here with Two Guys in a Ride here in beautiful Des Moines, Iowa at the Concours d'Elegance. I'm here with Jim Hendrix.
And Jason Mans.
The restorer of this beautiful car. Please tell me what we have.
This is a 1935. SS Cars Limited was the company name, and the model is called an SS1 Airline Saloon. So it's a two-door. Some people call it a coupe, but they called it a saloon because it was a four-seat car. The coupes for them were typically a two-seat car. No. We are the fourth owner. We've owned it for nearly 29 years. And Jason, over a 7-year period, brought the car back to life, and we worked on it off and on for over 25. And then we found original REG carburetors for it, and they were consecutive serial number. We can show you that when we open the bonnet for you. So the engine compartment's called a bonnet. The trunk is called a boot in English terminology.
Very English.
Yeah.
Now this is the third iteration of the company.
The company name, there were 5 names. Last name was Jaguar. First one was Swallow Sidecar. Second one was Swallow Sidecar and Coach Building Company. Then SS Cars Limited. Then SS Jaguar, and then Jaguar.
If we come back here, I noticed that on the interior, these massive seats. What's the story behind the seats?
So the seats are designed by the SS Cars team, and William Lyons had an appendectomy when they were designing the interior, and he said to him, well, just make the seats like my office chair. So they did that, and then they took the liberty to also make bucket seats in the back. And you can see the picnic tables in the rear as well. And I can open this up for you. And then the significance of the color of the car, it was the Silver Jubilee of King George V. And that was his 25th year of reign. And so silver is associated with a 25th anniversary. And the light blue is his sash on his uniform, and the royal blue of the carpeting is what his jacket was. So this is a pillarless design, and so this door, this piece right here, is not structural. All it is a guide for the window. And so Lisa can tell you a little bit. This is my wife Lisa, tell you a little bit about the purse that's in there. And maybe the scumbling.
Our first show, the interior guy made me the purse as a surprise. And what he didn't realize, besides it being beautiful, is it's perfect. Because what does a gal do with her purse at a car show? So all my stuff's in there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the idea of, oh, that's a beautiful purse, I want it, but you had to buy the car to go with it?
No.
No.
He just made it out of the material.
Well,
out of the leather.
He actually researched the design of purses back in 1935. And so he came up with this design.
Mirror the door panels. I'm sorry, the snaps mirror the door panels, and it is copied from a purse from 1930s.
Mm-hmm. It's a 4-speed car, synchromesh and second, third, and fourth, and it's a 2663 cc engine. It's a side valve inline-six, and it produces 70 brake horsepower. And you're filming some of the wood in the interior, and the wood is what the British call scumbling. And what they did is it's a wood base, but the pattern is a copy of what the wood grain would have been. And so it's a stencil to give you that look, and it repeats itself around as you go around the interior and on the rear parcel tray.
I'm noticing these 2 pegs here. Could you tell me what those are for?
So this is, again, a pillarless design. So if you move this door, you'll see how heavy it is. Go ahead.
It's quite
so it's very heavy. There's a lot of weight cantilevered out. So this pin here fits into a receiver here so that it keeps this in alignment so it doesn't move up and down. And then this one here fits into the one right there, and that one moves, adjusts in and out for the gaps on the on the door clearance. Dual side mount spares. Authenticity was very important to us, so we were lucky enough to find the tire company, which is Blockley Tire, and Blockley made, just by happenstance, the right sidewall pattern and tread pattern that is in the manual of the car. It has a full tool kit.
Oh yeah, I was just about to mention the sunroof.
So, before we go to the back, I'll talk about the sunroof. The sunroof is here. It drops down a little over an inch, and then it slides back into this pocket, and it opens to about here.
I'm also noticing the rain catchers and then also this weird notch here. You mind explaining that for me?
So when it would rain, the rain would get into here, and there's a channel that runs all the way back. In the back, there's a tube and a drain. And then in the front, there's a rectangular hole under here, and the water can flow out. But when you were driving, the wind would blow the rain back in. So they covered it, and the water can flow out both sides of this cover. The windshield also hinges from up above, and it can open like this, and they call that air conditioning.
Yeah.
Lisa has the boot open.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
So, this is a book on the history of the car. And, people ask questions and they want you to prove
history?
it. It actually is a brief history.
Oh my goodness.
And, we've got reams of paper. And this is a 1935 book from this car. Not a reproduction, it's real.
Oh my gosh.
So, this is the jewelry of the car. If you do this, stick your finger like that.
Almost
That's
90 years old.
That's the original rubber that came with the car. And it had maybe 3 or 4 tools, and it took us 25 years to get them all.
That's amazing. Wow. What would you say was the hardest part to find?
The carburetors.
Carburetors?
Took us 8 years. You can see the wood.
Oh.
Here's something that's interesting for you. I don't know if you can catch this, but right here you can see the nail heads that hold. So below that is ash. That's what the framework, everything from the chassis up is ash. So it was nailed, and when you nail those nails, the nails actually spin, and they go in like a screw as you nail them in so that they stay in, they don't back out. So just real quick, I'll show you the tail. Lisa,
Wait,
help me out.
I gotta put the.
Cool to see that.
So we put this in so that the tools don't move around.
Which they do anyway.
Yeah.
But
Does that lock down? Okay. It
Oh, it does
down.
lock down.
Good. Okay, I thought because.
all right, so then we're going to show you. This is the owl eye. That's the rear tail light of the car. There's just one. And so when you have your headlights on, this will light as your running light. That is a brake light. That's a reverse light. Kind of looks like an owl, doesn't it?
No, I was gonna say it does look like an.
Yeah.
I saw it right away. I'm noticing a handle.
Sure. So this is the directional indicator. It hinges from here and it comes out. That is a light bulb, and when it comes out, it lights up.
So directional. Yeah.
And all controlled right here from the steering wheel.
Correct. Okay. So that steering wheel, in that center part, is the directional indicators, right here.
Okay.
That's the horn. That's advance and retard, timing, and that's the lights. All within easy reach. So we would go to, or I would go to breaker yards and in England, which are basically junk yards, and I would fill bags and anything I could carry with nuts, bolts, and screws. So this is right down to the nuts, bolts, and screws and washers of what was correct at the time.
I was talking to Jason, your restorer, and he had mentioned that the nuts and bolts aren't metric, they aren't imperial. What are they?
They are called Whitworth. So it's a Whitworth thread, which is kind of a cross between the two. and it's unique to the British auto industry and other British things back in the day, and so searching for all those pieces was important because I wanted to make sure that the car was done right. And for us, being Jaguar collectors and what's of utmost importance when collecting those cars, when you're doing a show with those kind of judges, they know a lot of details, so you want to make sure that you have all those details right. And we can prove that with the book in the back, and go take a look at it and scrutinize it. And we've had some very nice compliments from Jaguar judges, and yeah, they've said they've never seen one restored like this, so I can understand that.
CCCA.
Yeah, lots of people.
ACA.
It's won a lot of awards and some Pinnacle awards, and so one of the big ones is the Antique Automobile Club of America Zenith Award. That's the badge on the front, and it has a number, and there were I believe 2,800 cars competing that year in their classes, and they narrowed it down to 19 cars, and then we competed head to head, and this car was the champion from that competition.
Congratulations! I was trying to figure that out. Yes, I was just. Now you had said that this car has been in your possession now
nearly 29 years.
Nearly 29 years. Favorite memory?
Probably acquiring it and the story behind it, because we started looking 33 years ago, and as I said, we've owned it for almost 29. But during that period of time, that was before the internet, and so you were writing letters and putting articles in magazines and newsletters and things, and that's how we found the car. Somebody wrote us a note on an airmail. Which you wouldn't know, but some people would. It's a light blue piece of paper, and you would handwrite your message. Then you would lick the edges, and it folded and became an envelope. And we received that from him, and I still have it, saying that he would be willing to sell his car to us. And then, after he had agreed to do that, then we were almost ready to go over and culminate the deal, and he sends us another note saying, "Oh, I can't sell it." So that took us another year and a half and he finally said, "Okay, I'd sell it," and then we were able to buy it.
Let's go up to the front here. I really want to point something out. Just from looking at it from this angle, you see the details. You see the swoops on the headlights. I mean, what kind of engine?
This is an inline-six side valve engine, 2663 cc's. They offer two engines, and this is the larger of the two, and it produced 70 brake horsepower, and the other engine they offered produced about 55 brake horsepower. And so this is the bigger of the engines. It has some of the options so that this car could be driven in many areas, like electric fuel pump, that was an option, and the high-speed rear end, so you could drive it as fast as the roads would allow. So in the design of this car, it was the Art Deco period. Streamlining was important, and a swept-back design is what they wanted to create. And then if you look at the height of this car overall, and you compare it to the other cars in the class, you'll see that it's probably 6 to 12 inches shorter than most. So his goal was to create a lean, low look with a long, extended front end, which he did, but it's a 6-cylinder engine. But that whole engine compartment is full of things, and we can open it for you in a second. So Jason's going to open the bonnet for us.
Well, thank you, Jason.
While he's doing that, I'll just point out the wheels. The chrome rim around the wheel is the way they all came on SS's. The sun is just right that you can see the painted portion and then the chrome portion, and the SS insignia is all over the car. But that's the inline-six engine.
And you had said that the chrome is not pressed on, correct?
It's not pressed on. It's part of the wheel.
It had to be done first and then paint the wheel.
So those carburetors are RAG carburetors. You can see the the name right here, RAG and Deluxe. And then right here is a stamped serial number, 47 and 48, their consecutive number. So to find those is like nirvana, to actually have it in our possession and be able to, you know, show it with all those things. This is a Bakelite battery box for a 12 volt battery. This is the body number right here. And these are some of the tools. This is a crank handle for the jack. This is the crank handle for the engine. Then there's other tools on the other side. And again, authenticity is what we were after in doing this restoration. So not only the sidewall tread pattern, but the pattern on the actual tire itself, and then they had to fit these side mount containers, or it's a clamshell held together with 3 fittings like this, and it's heavy. So and you can see the support behind it comes straight off the rigid frame. There's just a lot to it.
It's a beautiful car.
Thank you very much.
Any big plans?
No, you know, we've been showing it now. This is the 4th year we've shown it, and we're still having fun, and we're doing our next car. And so when that's ready to show in 26, then you know, we'll be doing a little bit of work to this over the winter time, but then we'll show it next year, and then we'll start showing the next car, which is a Jaguar also.
You mind me asking what kind?
Sure, it's an XK120, 1951, works lightweight. They made 3 of them, and ours, they only finished 2 of them, and ours was imported to the U.S., and then it was raced by Phil Hill, who was a very famous Formula One champion, and then in his early years he raced Jaguars.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a white car, and it was the original color combo.
Well, thank you again, Jim, for showing us.
Pleasure.
Thank you again, Lisa as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.